Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 9th. It's 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 90 minutes. Let me set everything up real quick, and then we can get started with our session for today. All right, so this is set up good. Next thing right here. A couple other things to update right here. And just a reminder, guys, we're going to be having our mentoring session today, so I will set some times. I'm assuming everyone will be okay with our normal time, 2 p.m. So I will get that set up. Once it's all set up, we can get started with that discussion as well today. That's being set up. You can go ahead and send this link out to you guys here in the premium. Cool. Looks like we're good to go. All right, guys. So let me let everybody into the room real quick. All right. While people make their way in, I'm going to start drawing my liquidity areas over here. Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 9th. It's 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and finish drawing my liquidity areas over here. And then we can get started with our analysis for this morning. All right. So for the most part, looks like we might have another one down here. There's a lot of liquidity on the bottom. So there's some updates with the war today, guys, and I'll go over that shortly as well. But there's a ton of liquidity here sitting on the bottom. So I do think price is going to drop pretty heavy during the session today. Let's see what you got over here. Morning, Saren. Morning, Matthew. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Marlon. Morning, Mauricio. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Flemmy. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Jay. Morning, Brenda. Morning, Ruin. Morning, Lorraine. Morning, Barack. Morning, Jonathan. Morning, Essa. Morning, Jez. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. So today is March 9th. Just a reminder, it's Wednesday. Today we'll be having our group mentoring session in the afternoon, probably around 2. If that's an issue for people, I'll try to put up a poll. Maybe we could have it earlier if you guys really want it earlier, but I can make it work whatever time you guys want. Other than that, let's take a look at the news real quick and we'll see, what we have to look for today. So looking over at retail sentiment is currently 58% long, 42% short. So majority of traders are on the long side. We're definitely looking to take some sells today. Looking over here at the retail sentiment on IG, same thing, 58% long. Also, fundamentals are currently up 591 points. However, I don't think this is going to hold. The reason for that is because I'm looking over here at the news, not necessarily economic news, but the news in Ukraine. And basically right here, this is one thing that kind of, the headline right here says Moscow says US has declared an economic war. So with that said, things are not getting better, obviously, with all the sanctions and stuff going on in Ukraine. We're probably going to see something crazy happens. Russia's probably going to do something, and then it's going to cause price to drop. So, there's a lot of updates here. The war isn't getting any better. There's no peace talks, nothing like that. So with that said, I think this is just, market has been propped up before it comes down for a drop. Looking over here at the news, let me see if there's any news this morning. I don't think there's really much. There is news today, actually. Sorry, let me check. There's like high impact news. So we have high impact news right here at 7, which is the JOLTS job openings. I'm anticipating this to be positive. The economy is doing better, but the war is not doing better. So I do see this is probably what's kind of pushing price up. Like at 7, we're probably gonna get a spike to the upside due to news, and then something else is going to happen regarding war, and it's just going to come back down. Crude inventories here as well. This is going to be positive. I think both the news here today is going to be positive. Or actually, yeah, because since we're not buying oil from Russia anymore, the crude oil inventory should be low. So I'm expecting both of these news events to be positive. It's probably going to push price up temporarily, and I think eventually it's going to come back down. It might not come down right away, but maybe through mid market, it'll come all the way back down because there's a ton of liquidity sitting right here. If you just pull back a little bit, you can see all the liquidity sitting down here. It's going to have to get hit at some point, and it's probably going to get hit later today. If not immediately, it's probably going to get hit later during mid-market. So other than that, retail sentiment is currently long, so we're looking for shorts. Fundamentals are currently long as well. So they conflict right now. We'll see what happens when the market actually opens, but these two conflict. There's no confluence there. Looking over at the technical, the 1 minute is bullish. You can see price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. Looking over at the 3 minute, it is also bullish because price is above the pivots and trend meter is green. Lastly, here on the 5 minute, it's bullish as well. So it's pretty bullish all around, but I'm expecting this to be some sort of fake out. So we'll see what happens later. What might happen here. This is probably a better angle. You can see price probably push up and spike up around 7. It'll hit the sessions over here. This is the New York high from yesterday, and then it'll probably come right back down, and then it'll probably range within this area. So this gives you a better picture of like what might happen. I know it's a bit of a push. It's about like 1,700 pips, 1,800 pips. So it could be a solid push to the upside, but I do think it's going to come right back down. Morning, Rami. Morning, Matt. Morning, Patrick. Morning, Miles. Morning, Professor. Morning, Lisa. Morning, Nick. Morning, everybody. Yeah, Nick said I just need 1 or 2 trades today and I'll have passed my FTMO. Definitely. Nice work, Nick. So yeah, stay consistent. What I'd recommend for you is to not take anything too risky, right? Just take the stuff that is high probability of winning. You don't want to take anything too risky today since you just need 1 or 2 trades. I see so many people get close to 1 or 2 trades from passing and they end up blowing it all. So don't let that happen to you. All right, market's going to open in about 2 minutes, guys. I'm going to finish drawing my liquidity over here on the clean chart. Shouldn't take too long. You guys can see, like, if you guys have the high-low indicator, this drawing liquidity here takes like less than a minute. I can literally just pull this up, draw liquidity, and then I'm done. There we go. So I did all of that in less than a minute. And that's why these indicators here are useful. These indicators aren't your end all be all. It's a convenience, right? That's really what you need the indicators for. I mean, you can do all this stuff without the indicators, but it's going to take you forever. By the time you're done analyzing, the trade's going to have passed by then. So I want to make that clear so you guys don't think that, oh, this indicator is going to be like the holy grail for you. It's not. It just makes everything a lot easier. So you don't have to go and do all that work by hand. All right, anyways, back to the market over here. So here we go as price pushes to the upside. Market is now open. You can see prices dropping right here. Morning, Gallo. Morning, everybody. Morning, Al. Morning, Dave. Morning, everybody. Morning, Matt. All right, guys, so market is now open. Let's see where price goes from here. Steven, I don't know if you're in the room. I'll look for the breakout for you because I know that's what you're looking for. Every morning I'll try to look at the breakout for Steven. I know it's his favorite thing to take each morning. Currently, if you want to take the breakout right here, guys, you would have to look for a strong green candle. So currently right now, this is obviously not a strong green candle. You either want a sell signal here with a strong red candle for a sell entry for the breakout, or you want a strong green candle to follow where momentum is currently pushing. Hey, Slav, morning. All right, guys, so let's get started with our analysis. Currently right now, let's see what happens with price. Price is still pushing down. So if we get this sell signal right here, it needs to be a strong red candle in order for it to be the breakout. If it's not a strong red candle, then you'd have to just wait for that to confirm. So currently right now, one of 2 things can identify the breakout. You either need a strong green candle, which is going to indicate a bullish push, or you need a sell signal with a strong red candle within it. About 30 seconds left on this candle right here. Let me pull up the fundamentals. Fundamentals are currently up 569 points, but this can easily drop. If price drops below this liquidity and spikes all the way down, then this can be this can be an easy sell, but currently right now, the confluences are not aligning. So there's no bias right now. So I mean, this is probably going to be the breakout, but it's going to be a very risky breakout, just like it was yesterday, because there's no clear direction set yet. So no strong red candle right there and no strong green candle. There's no entry off that candle right there. This next one is going to be the next possible entry. If it closes with a sell signal and a strong red candle or a strong green candle, identifying the confirmation of a bullish push right here. So see what happens over here. All right, so we're looking for a strong green candle here. In order for us to get that strong green candle, we need a confirmation of a push in the direction of momentum. So right here, if this closes as a strong green candle, this is going to be the breakout. Yeah, exactly. That's what Nick said. Nick said CNBC just reported the Dow 500-point recovery. Watch for the drop. I definitely expect it to drop. So one thing that Nick just mentioned is, you know, when CNBC ever reports something new, like something like this, if they say Dow rebounds, price is going to do the opposite. This has already happened. They report stuff really late. So I'd probably be looking for a sell. I mean, we were already looking for a sell, and you can see right here, if this ends up closing. So there's been no clear direction at 6:33 right now. If the breakout doesn't happen in the next 2 minutes, then this is going to be the, there's not going to be a breakout. So the breakout has to happen before 6:35. If it doesn't come, then there's obviously not going to be no breakout, and there's no direction set just yet. All right, we got about 10 seconds left on this candle. You can see all the candles here from open have not really moved very much. I'm going to go ahead and draw opening price right over to 629, 630. All right, so there's opening price right there. It's 634 right here. I don't think we're gonna get a breakout. It looks like, I mean, technically this could have been the breakout right here. This sell signal right here. It's not that strong of a candle though. So in order for it to be the confirmation candle, there has to be little to no wick on the bottom side. This requirement is very subjective because, you know, some people might consider this a strong red candle. I don't really consider it strong because the body right here is not very big. If the body was bigger, then yeah, I would consider it a strong candle. But right here, the wick is probably like maybe a third of the body. So I wouldn't consider this the entry candle. This is why I don't really like teaching people this strategy too much, because it's different. Like for me, I wouldn't anticipate this to be the breakout entry because, and I'll show you what a strong red candle would be. Like a strong red candle would be something like this right here. Although this would not have been the entry, this would have been considered a strong red candle in my perspective, because there's like literally no wick on the bottom end right here. Not the breakout, but this is what I would consider a strong red candle. Again, this candle next to it is what I would consider a strong green candle because there's little to no wick on the top side. So that's a requirement that's very subjective. You know, some people identify things differently while others identify things more simplified. I like to be very specific with this specific strategy. So with that said, no breakout for the day, guys. We cut it off at 535, unless this right here closes as a strong red candle or strong, yeah. So unless this candle right here closed as a strong red candle because momentum was for a sell, this would have been a breakout, but there's no strong red candle there. So we will move along for that. We'll start looking for some bias in the market. Currently right now, we don't have a bias, guys. So let me go ahead and just draw some more sessions right here. I mean, not sessions, high lows. So as you can see right here, this is where price dropped. This is exactly where price came down from at 629 or 630 actually. And there's some liquidity sitting up here. So as you can see from this point, price is just going sideways. Price is now ranging between this high and this low. What we're looking for here, if we want to confirm a bullish bias, we need price to break above here, retest, and confirm. Once it does that, we can start looking for some buys. Vice versa, if we're looking for some sells here, which is what I'm more preferred to take, is we need price to break below. This is kind of tough because the problem with this here is that there's a sessions right here. I was going to say break below this point, I mean, which can possibly be okay as well. Break below this point, retest, and confirm. But realistically, we might be able to catch like maybe one trade around here if this does confirm, and then when we need it to confirm again below here, below this liquidity. I mean, not liquidity, this sessions. So if we get this confirmation below here, we can take maybe one trade. And then again, right here, we need it to close below here, and we can confirm another trade down there as well. So we'll wait for that to play out. Anyways, looking over here, price is broken below this, or hasn't broken below it, rejected right off this low. It created a new low below here. So this is fine. This is actually what I want. I want price to come lower so that we can have liquidity sitting right here. You can see that now there's a double line right here with regard to this low and this low. We have liquidity sitting right here now. But yeah, this is basically what we're looking for. Price is currently ranging within these two highs and lows right here. Basically this liquidity zone and this liquidity zone right here. As price ranges between this area, we're looking for a confirmation whether price confirms to the upside or price confirms to the downside. We're going to use the momentum signal as our direction. So looking at this right here, you can see a pending buy signal, right? If this right here closes, we're going to be looking for this to play out because momentum is pushing that direction. Also, the trend meter is green. You can see on the previous candle over here, the trend meter was red. So you can see price was attempting to shift to the downside. However, it failed to do so. Now it's pushing right back up. See, Maddie said, I think it'll push to the sessions and dump it. Yeah, no, I can see that too. All right, let's see where we're going right here. So not really much going on here. I'm going to go to the clean chart and I'm going to update the high lows around this area. We got one right here. One right here. We'll move this a little lower. Opening price is going to be right over here. All right, solid. So you can see it a lot better here on the clean chart. So from the clean chart right here, you can see price is literally just going right down the middle right here. Here's the high, here's the low. Price is not really doing much. There's no direction set. So just a reminder of like what we're looking for right here. I know it's easier to see on the clean chart. We're basically waiting for price to confirm its direction. You can see price isn't really going anywhere. It's going up, it's coming down, but it's again just ranging within this area. Another thing for us to look out for is when price starts to squeeze. So as you can see, this range is starting to get tighter and tighter. So it gets tighter and tighter, and it starts to squeeze down here. This is it's basically going to indicate that a breakout's going to happen. Because as it squeezes like that, price is going to have to break out one way or the other. And in order for us to identify the squeeze, we just keep updating the high lows, because if the high lows get tighter and tighter, as you can see right here, there's another high being produced. If another high gets produced right there, this range just continues to get tighter, right? So it's still ranging within these two high lows over here, but it's creating an even lower high, and then it's going to create a higher low over here, possibly. And it'll just prepare for the breakout. So it's just a matter of patience, guys. Don't enter any trades right now. There's no clear direction. I mean, looking over at retail sentiment isn't even that strong. It's currently long 59%. So with it increasing right here, we're definitely looking to do the opposite. A lot of traders are trying to hop into the buys right now, but a lot of these people are going to get stopped out. So we're definitely looking for a sell. And thanks, Patricia. Patricia confirmed that we do have news coming up in 20 minutes. So I'm going to draw a line in the on the chart over here so that we can remember that there's news coming up right here at 7. It's high impact. So we definitely want to be careful with that. So I'm just going to take off this high right here. It's not yet established, but it will be established eventually. And with the news, I do expect it to push to the upside. So I mentioned earlier, we have two high impact news coming up today. We have Joel's job openings, which I'm anticipating to be bullish, and same with the crude oil inventories. With the inventories low, this is going to be bullish as well. So both coming up at 7 and then the next at 7:30. Let me mark that up at 7:30 as well. So these two red lines are going to be news. We're going to use that to identify some sort of volatility spike or liquidity with the market reacting to news. All right, so let me just clean this up real quick, or I could leave this up actually, this bullish one, because price is pushing above it. All right, so check this out, guys. Price is now pushing above. We need this pattern over here to play out. So now it's broken above this liquidity. You hit liquidity right here, and now it's pushing up to the next area of liquidity. Right, hit liquidity right here, and then it spiked all the way up. What we're looking for at this point is now we're looking for the retest. So here's step one, this push to the upside. Step two is going to be the retest right here. We have a bullish momentum right here. You can see we have a buy signal. That's why I was mentioning, if you have a buy signal, we're looking for this to play out. If you have a sell signal, we're looking for the opposite to play out. Right now, we have a buy signal. So we're looking for this to confirm right here. Here's the first step. We have the push to the upside. Here's this red candle. The second step, it's coming for the retest right here. So here's something to look out for, guys. Either it's going to retest and it's going to continue pushing back up, or it's going to break down below and it's going to come right back down to this range. So this is why you don't want to get caught in this fake out. I see so many people, they see price break above an area and they hit that buy right away. As soon as you enter the buy, it comes right back down because you didn't wait for the retest. It has to retest. There you go. You guys can see the big wick right there. It's rejecting right off the liquidity. It's rejecting off two key points. It's actually rejecting off the opening price, this dotted blue line, and it's also rejecting off liquidity right there. So there we go. As price comes all the way back down into this range. This is why you guys can't jump into trades like that without thinking, right? You have to really think about the trade. So as you can see right here, a failed attempt. Price attempted to break above. It didn't come back down for the retest. It actually pulled right back into the range. So be patient, guys. Wait for this confirmation and direction. There's obviously no direction set yet, but as you can see, price is now going sideways from where it's currently at. It faked out to the upside and came right back down. It's now back in the same range as it was earlier. Henry's asking, do you ever place orders right above liquidity for a scalp? No, that's exactly what I just said not to do, Henry. So Henry, I don't know if you were paying attention right now when I was discussing this. I just mentioned not to chase the trade, right? You're telling me if I put you're asking me if I put a buy stop, right? I don't put a buy stop because I literally just said you have to wait for it to confirm. Price pushes above, you wait for the retest. If you would have done what you just said right here, you would have been you probably would have blown your account at this point because this thing came down like 500 points, right? Or about 700 pips. So short answer to your question is, okay, gotcha. Yeah, no problem, Henry. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine, Henry. Henry he sent the question late after I said it. But yeah, definitely don't enter right there because this is what you could get caught in. So again, right here, it's looking for the next retest. Since right here was a fake out, this might be the actual push up. So we'll just ignore this right here, like this never happened. And we're looking for it to push up again, retest and confirm. But yeah, short answer to your question, Henry, I would never put a buy stop right there or a sell stop if it's coming to the bottom because it's really easy for you to get caught in this fake out right here. You want to confirm that there's a bias first. If there's already a bias, then that's fine. Like say for example, this confirmed over here, Henry, and then price pushed above here. Then in this situation, if there was like a double line here, like another liquidity area, say there's another area of liquidity like right here, right? If that's the case and it's already confirmed the bias, then yeah, I would possibly do what you just asked or what the question you asked. I'd probably put a small buy there for like maybe 100 pips or so. Not really a big push because you can see when price does hit liquidity right here, it does push up a little bit, right? enough for you to catch 100 pips. But this is more of an advanced way to trade. I wouldn't recommend you do it, Henry, because if you knew how to do it, you would already have done it. You wouldn't have asked me. But if you don't know how to do this, I wouldn't recommend doing it. Because it's not really, I mean, it looks really simple here. Because like, for example, if this pushed above here, you could have had a buy stop and just caught it as it pushed up. But if you were greedy and didn't pull out at 100 pips, you would have been stopped right out if it came right back down. So I think that's something a little more advanced. You might want to play around with it, maybe on a demo or something, and see how it works. But it's not something that that people should be applying unless you really know what you're doing. Because I do that sometimes. You guys have seen me where I catch liquidity pushes, but I don't just enter when there's no bias. I enter when there is a bias and price continues to push, in that direction. So yeah, exactly. A range that I used to trade like that, it's not sustainable. So with your range, you probably were doing it before the bias was like exactly like what happened right here, right? Because I see people sometimes they'll be trading and there's no bias. Like they'll try to take those liquidity pushes, but there's no confirmed bias. Like if there was a confirmed bias, the reason why I would keep trading that is because once this is confirmed right here, it's just going to keep doing the same thing, right? It'll retrace again and then do the same thing over and over until it hits all the liquidity. So that's a little different, but if you don't have a bias, that's where it becomes very dangerous because you can easily, get caught in a fake out without even knowing it. So again, right here, you can see another failed attempt right here. This did not work out. Again, this one did not work out. This one right here is the third attempt for it to, so it broke above right here. It retested. We'll see if it pushes above. What I'm looking for right here is I'm looking for price. And again, right here, you can see it's another failed attempt. If this becomes a third failed attempt, I'm going to delete this liquidity area right here, and we're just going to have to wait for it to push higher. And it looks like it's going to be a failed attempt again right here. So let's see what happens right here. This candle right here is attempting to break above opening price and above the liquidity. Looks like it's failing to do so. We got about 5 seconds left on this candle. If it closes below here, I'm just going to delete this. And then we're just gonna have to wait for another confirmation. So again, right there, failed attempt a third time, no longer going to use that liquidity area. So next we need price to do the same thing, but above here. But I wouldn't really be looking for this because I'm not really looking for a buy, right? I'm looking for a possible sell. So I'm gonna let people get caught in this fake out right here, and then I'm going to look for it to come back down. Matthew said, would you take a short with you get your signal even is, sorry, Matthew, let me try to read your question again. I can't understand it. Would you take a short with you get your signal even if the, sorry, Matthew, if you could rephrase the question, I don't know if you might miss the word. I'm trying to see what, let me read again. Sorry, guys. I don't know if maybe I'm reading it wrong. Would you take a short with you get your signal even if the trend meter is green? I think you're asking if I would take a short even if the trend meter is green, right? Would you take a short if you get a red signal? No, so I wouldn't. So you're going completely against the trend. I know you're fine, Matthew. Sorry, I know not everyone here is like English is not your first language, so it's not. It's you're not gonna have like the proper grammar, but it's okay. I figured you probably missed a word there, and I saw that you did. Anyways, I wouldn't take a sell here if the trend, not just because the trend meter is green. There's like other confluences here, Matthew. There's like we're looking at retail sentiment. We're looking at fundamentals. The fundamentals are up 600 points. I'm not looking to take a sell just yet. In order for me to take a sell, I need to see a switch in bias. So looking over here, if we were to get a sell signal, I'm 100% sure I'm not going to take a sell. In order for me to take a sell, I need price to shift bias, right? So in order for it to shift bias, I need price to come below here. And this is a pretty big push. This big push right here is going to be about 1,000 pips, 1,200, 1,300 pips. With price pushing over here, we want price to come back and retest and push lower. When this happens, the fundamentals are going to start to shift. So I know right now it's currently up 600 points, 500 points. When price pushes down about 1,000 pips or so, this is going to start to go lower and lower and lower. You can see earlier it was over 600 points. Now it's at 571. If we refresh it again, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot lower. So right here, it's at 600, right? Let's refresh this. And it's currently, it's still at 600. That's weird. Price did drop right here. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at the futures data. So right here, it's actually at 560 and you refresh it and it's below 600. So as price continues to drop lower and lower, the bias is going to change. So I would not take a trade specifically because you get a sell signal and the trend meter is green. I would be using other factors. So you can see right here, the trend meter is now turning red. So if you see right there in the bottom, the trend meter is no longer green, it's now red. So it can easily shift. It's just you need this confirmation right here that price is going to come below. And there we go, as price starts to drop. This is why I wasn't looking for any buys. I was just looking for the confirmation of bias, which never came. Price is now pushing below, and it's probably going to come crashing down pretty heavy. Yeah, no problem, Matthew. So I wouldn't base all of your entries off the trend meter, guys. You can see how often it changes. It changes pretty quickly. It's not something that just stays one color forever. You have to use, full analysis. You have to look at retail sentiment. You have to look at fundamentals. These are the two main things. The technicals don't really matter, honestly. Like the main things you want to look for is going to be retail sentiment. You're trading opposite of the majority. Majority of traders here are 58% long, meaning that 58% of retail traders are currently buying. You want to do the opposite of them. So you want to sell. The next thing you want to look for is fundamentals here. Fundamentals are still very strong, but they can't hold up forever, right? You can see it went from 600 points to now 500 points, almost below 500 points. Looking over here at the actual stock index, let me refresh this real quick. The stock index is completely green, but some stocks here are starting to turn red. So as these start to turn red, the bias is going to shift to a sell, which is what we're looking for today. And you can see right here, price broke right below. All right, so check this out, guys. Price is broken below. This is step one, right? We need step two for the retest, and then step three for the confirmation. Once we have this, we can start looking for some sells. I know the fundamentals are very strong right now, but retail sentiment takes precedent over the fundamentals here because this can easily shift. And it is shifting right now. You can see it's now at 500. It's going to get even lower. As it gets lower, bias is going to change to the downside. Okay, so this candle right here failed to close below this area of liquidity, right? So you can see it broke below here, but not below here. We need price to come a little bit lower. And we have news coming up at 7. Thanks, Patricia. Yeah. Big thanks to Patricia for keeping us informed because I would forget about it. I mean, there's been a couple times where I forgot about news and then I ended up taking a trade during news and I'm like, why did that happen? And I ended up losing because there was news that was like about 5 minutes away. It's 6:54 right now, guys. So the news is going to come up in about 6 minutes. We have high impact news, which is going to be the JOLTS job openings right over here. We'll see how this plays out and see how price reacts to it. I do expect it to be bullish. So we can probably expect when price gets to this red line right here, a manipulated push to the upside. So Rick said Patricia is our private CNN, right? All right, guys. So here we go for the second attempt. There you go. As price finally broke below here. All right, let's see if it even comes below. So you can see right there, it was attempting to break and close below here, but it failed to do so. All right, so you can see price is now pushing back up. It's probably going to push right back into the range. I'll leave this liquidity here in case it tries for another attempt. Yeah, like what Charles said. Charles said this is actually a V3 buy right here. Not one that I would personally take, but yeah, it's a V3 buy. I mean, a couple of reasons. Like for one, there's news coming up. For two, it's like too strong for a sell. So I wouldn't have taken the V3 buy right there. Anyways, price is now pushing it again below. There goes the second attempt. So it actually closed below here now. So looking at this here, the first step was for it to break below, right? The second step is a retest. There we go, the retest right here. The third step is going to be the confirmation push below. Unfortunately, news is coming up in about 4 minutes. So even if we do get an entry here, I'm not going to be able to take it. It's just going to be too risky around news time. But this right here is the this is the setup right here. All right, so just a reminder, step one's done. This is step two, the retest. We just need this to close below this area of liquidity. It just needs to reject off this area of liquidity anywhere within this box or this range right here, and it should be fine. If it closes above, it's not going to count. You're going to have to go for another retest or another attempt. Okay, perfect. So there we go right here with the rejection off liquidity, right? So that's step two already. Step two has been confirmed. We just need the last confirmation right here. If price doesn't confirm, price is going to probably push right back up to opening price. So two different scenarios right here. Price can either push up or it's probably going to continue pushing down. And then we have news coming up right here in 3 minutes. So I don't recommend taking any trades right now. Probably wait for the news to pass before entering anything. So two different scenarios here. Either price will close above here and it'll push right back up to opening price or somewhere near it. Or price will close below here and confirm the drop. All right, about 10 seconds here. See where this closes. Oh, that's tricky. So you can see right here, like at the very last second, price actually tried to close right below this liquidity. So let me just clean this up a little bit. Tricky push right there. He tried to close below and it failed. So this right here is a botched confirmation of bias. So there's no confirmation of bias right here, unfortunately. As I mentioned, price needed to close and stay below this area of liquidity. If it didn't, then price is likely to push back up into the range. But news is coming up in 2 minutes, so we'll see what happens when the news comes out. It's likely to, push up higher from this point. Especially if the news is going to be positive. I think it's going to be positive. So we'll give it a few minutes. News is going to come up in about 1 minute now. So I do think it's going to push up a bit. Yeah, so it looks like some of you guys here did take that V3 that I mentioned earlier. There was a V3 right here. There was a low followed by a green candle right here with a pending buy signal. With that said, this was the entry right here for about 360 pips. And then the full TP right there. Hit full TP and it came right back down. So if you pulled out, great work. I didn't take the trade, obviously. I'm not looking for any buys yet until there's some sort of bias confirmation. News is going to come up in about a minute. So see where it goes from there. Anyways, looking over here, looks like some people posted some profits. Let's see, Milzon over here. Yeah, Milzon's at jury duty. He's locking in some profits. So I don't know if you guys saw Milzon's picture right here. He was in jury duty, sitting and waiting to be called, and he locked into pretty good profit. 1,759 for the day. Great work, Milzon. I would have never thought to bring a computer in there. All right, guys. So looking at current price right now, here's the news. News just opened up. You can see the scenario played out, right? So since price failed to confirm below, it pushed to the upside right here. Let's see, Matthew said there's zero chance I could be that fast to take this kind of trade. Although you guys are superhumans. Yeah, Matthew, I mean, it's all within practice, Matthew, because if you start to execute these trades and you understand what to look out for, it's not that difficult because you already know when to enter a trade and you're just waiting to hit buy or sell, right? You're waiting for the candle to close, you'll hit buy or sell. The more and more practice that you put into it, the better you'll be and more prepared for these entries. So looking over at news, I'm pretty sure the news was positive. Let me refresh this. I was already anticipating it to be positive. Let's refresh this right here. Yep, positive, very positive. So, yeah, Ruin said fake news. Of course, there's more jobs. Everything got closed. That was a given. Yeah, no, definitely. That's why I already knew it was going to be positive before it even happened. You just use basic fundamentals of like what's being reported in the news. So let's see where price is pushing. So guys, check this out. Look where price is pushing up to. If you remembered my analysis earlier, I said if this bias confirmation failed, I mentioned price would push either up to opening price or somewhere near it, right? And look where price currently is. It's doing exactly that. So whenever price gets near the confirmation of the bias, you can check for a scenario. It's going to be a speculative trade, but it usually plays out, right? It's either going to go up or it's either going to go down. Price failed to go down from this point, and now it's pushing right back up. So I know a lot of people here take trades off my analysis like that when it comes to a scenario. I actually like when it comes to a scenario because it helps a lot with identifying where you can catch these quick little moves. I was actually kind of tempted to enter a buy over here when price failed to close above, but there was news right here, so I didn't. So there you go. Analysis played out perfectly. So if you guys are a bit confused about what I'm talking about, later on today or after this live session, you can watch the replay. Just replay it back 10 minutes before, maybe around 6:50 Pacific time. And then you can see that I pretty much identified this to play out. Same scenario that plays out almost every time whenever a bias confirmation fails or if it confirms. If it confirms, it'll keep pushing. If it fails, it'll come back down. So here we go, this big push. This is all probably based off the news, like I mentioned earlier. And if you guys were here in the beginning of the session, I did hint to you guys that I was expecting price to push up because the news here is going to be positive. The news at 7:30, I do expect this to be positive as well because we did ban, oil from Russia. So inventories are going to be low, which is a good thing. All right, so this played out right here. I'm going to clean this off. I'm going to delete this too because this is no longer usable. The good thing about this is that price has now created a new area of liquidity below here. So big area of liquidity down there. Here's price attempting to break above. It failed to do so. As you can see from this point, now it's making an attempt to confirm above here. Push to the upside, retest, and confirmation. But currently right now, if you just look at price from a bird's eye view, so here's when market opened right here at 6:30 up until 7, there's no direction, right? Price pretty much just ranged up and down this entire point in time. The next thing that we're going to be lining up is going to be the, I'm going to clean this up a little bit actually, because it's pretty useless at this point. Pretty sure this is going to be the low. This is going to be the high. And we'll just leave this here for now, just in case price does come back for another retest, which it looks like it's going to. What I'm going to draw a line for here is going to be news price. So news happened right here at 7. We'll color that pink. Same with this one right here, 7 o'clock. We'll color that pink as well. All right, so just looking at this here as I zoomed out, you guys can see there's no direction again, right? It's just like how the market was yesterday, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that there would be a direction set because of news today, but there just isn't any direction. Market opened right here at 6:30. Price is literally just bouncing up and down from this low right here and this high. This is the high for the day or for the session, and this is the low for the session. Hasn't broken above it or hasn't broken below it. So we'll see where it goes from here. I mean, it's already failed to break above it, so we might have to just delete this liquidity area. The next area of liquidity is going to be right there. So we got liquidity right there. We got liquidity over here. I do expect a big drop to happen later today, though. So if you guys plan on trading later today, I mean, it might not happen for a while, but it's probably going to happen at some point. You can see current price right now, 2 wicks right here off the opening price. It's now creating a range within this area right here, which is fine. See if there's anything else here. Ruin's asking, how do we get the sessions printed on the side of the chart? Was there an update I missed? So in order to get the sessions printed on the side of the chart right here, you have to go to your settings. So right click on your chart, Ruin, go to your settings, and then go to where is it at? Scales. So go to scales right here, and then turn on indicator and financial name labels. So if you turn that off, they're gone. You turn it back on, they're back there. So indicators and financial name labels. It's just a setting in the on the chart. Yeah, no problem, Ron. Rick said not Sean strikes again. All right, guys. So there's no entry available right now at the moment. I mean, price is literally just ranging within this area. Volatility died down a lot. We have news coming up again. We're gonna get 7:30. So I don't think we're gonna get a trade from now and then. Maddie said there's a 5-minute pending sell. Yeah, maybe this could be the catalyst for it to drop. But the problem is that we have news coming up at 7:30, and I do expect it to be positive as well. We had positive news here at 7, which pushed price to the upside. And then we have positive news possibly coming again at 7:30. Let's see. Kenny's asking, when is Trump coming back into office? Pierce said 2024. Yeah, I mean, if Trump runs again, he's coming back, or he will be attempting to make his way back 2024. That would be pretty interesting if he comes back. I mean, I'm not political at all. I did think it was kind of funny having the clown show up there when Trump was president. It was a funny time. I mean, it was not good for the government, but it was just a funny time. Like I felt like every week or every couple of days, Trump would fire somebody and then hire somebody random that has like no experience in politics. So yeah, I don't know if he comes back into 2024. I think that'll be interesting. Sisu said he still thought he was on The Apprentice, right? That was pretty much what he was doing. All right, so price is pushing to the upside right here. It's looking for another test. So with it testing above here, it failed to do so. So price keeps getting around this area of liquidity and it just fails to break above it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete this line. It's already been it's been invalidated. The area of liquidity is right there. All right, so not really much going on here, guys. I was hoping like price would keep pushing, but it's not really pushing. It's now ranging within this area. We're probably gonna get a low, get established somewhere around here. I think with price pushes it back below here. So if I see this happen, price push below here, and it comes back up, it's gonna create a low. And when it creates a low around that area, it's gonna create a range right here. And then once it creates a range, then price can squeeze for another breakout. I'm just looking for another scenario. If I see another scenario play out, like for example, over here, the one down here and the one above here, I mean, they actually both played out. I don't know if you guys noticed that. There was a failed attempt above here and then price actually pushed right down here and then a failed attempt right here and it pushed right back up. So if I get another failed attempt or if I get another scenario where price will go one way or the other, I'll probably take a speculative sell in that direction or a buy in that direction. And I'll just try to scalp like maybe 100 pips here and there because I mean, that's pretty much what the market's been giving us, right? When there's no official entries, then the speculation is really what runs the board here. Ruin said a risky Rick trade. All right, risky Rick over here. We'll see how good it looks. I mean, if it looks good, then yeah, maybe I'll hop into it, but maybe not. All right, so there's just like literally nothing going on for the past, I guess, 5-10 minutes right now. Price hasn't really done much. Let's see what the range is looking like. The range is really small. It's starting to get tight. Volatility is starting to die down a bit. It's only moved about 400 to 500 pips. You can see right before that price was pushing like 1,000 pips. it almost pushed like almost 2,000 pips right here for both the directions. You can see the fake out price push to the upside, fake out to the downside, fake out to the upside, and then now it's just going sideways. Hopefully, as you guys sit in on these sessions, you guys are able to identify the market conditions, right? This is like, I'm trying to make it as clear as possible that it's not always a good time to trade. I feel like a lot of people try to force trades when there's nothing there. And there's really nothing here right now. Price is literally just going back and forth. If there was a direction set, then you can take trades in that direction, but there's obviously no direction here. You can see where price keeps failing to break. It's going to be this area right here, opening price. So if you guys are not familiar with this blue line is where market opened. You can see price pushed above it and pushed below it, and then now it's right back to where it was. So it's like the market never opened, right? It's like this whole area right here is just a gray area. Like this never happened because price is literally back to where it was when market opened. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of people who try to buy or sell off opening price and they just try to hold on to it. If they sold right here and didn't take any profit, they basically lost all the profit and they're now in some drawdown, right? Vice versa. If someone took a buy here and then price was to drop right below here, they'd be back into some negative. They're currently at maybe around break even right now. People who like to take those long-term trades on open, they're good when there's a direction, but for the most part, there's usually some sort of direction that's set. It's not always like this where price just sits around opening price. So let's see. Ruin said probably going to push to the 1 hour order block and drop, but we'll see 56% long, losing buyers. So going over here to the retail sentiment, guys, I'm going to refresh it. It's currently at 58%. If I refresh it now, it's now at 57%. So it looks like Ruin saw it when it was at 56. As this number starts to adjust, what generally happens is people are either getting stopped out or they're starting to shift their position. So people who were originally long are probably not feeling price to keep pushing up higher, right? Which makes sense because price looks like it's hit a ceiling at this point. If these people start to get scared, they start to change their positions from long to short. And if that becomes the case, then market just continues to stay neutral right here. So I think this is going to stay neutral until this number here starts to increase. If this goes up to maybe 60%, 70%, 75%, somewhere around there, then you could expect a huge drop to happen right after. Because the thing is, the market makers make money off retail traders losing, right? That's why a majority of retail traders lose. And that's the reason why we use this as a main confluence. Because if everyone sucks at trading and everyone loses at trading, like majority of people, you don't want to do what everyone's doing, right? Everyone's buying right now. So I'm trying to sell. It's just being patient and waiting for that opportunity to come up. The opportunity's not there yet. So if there's more people on the long side, I'm definitely not looking for buys. If there's more people on the short side, I'm definitely not looking for sells. Currently right now, there's more traders on the long side. So I'm not going to join this. I'm not going to bandwagon on this. I'm going to wait for it to come back down because I do expect it to come down at some point. And it's all about psychology, guys. Trading is mostly psychology. You can use any strategy and you can do pretty well. You can use K2 or you can use whatever strategy you guys have. Almost every strategy works as long as you use proper risk management and you actually have a bias. There we go. Price pushes above. Let's see if it retests. So this is going to be the first step right here of it breaking. It's going to have to break above here though. Okay, so that's exactly what we're looking for. We have price breaking above. This is step one. This is perfect because now I'm going to have a scenario. Oh, I guess not. It just came up, rejected right off it. Let's see. Matt said MT4 gap for me got a retest and fell. There we go. As it squeezes all the way down. Exactly right. Ruin said they just picked up those buy stops, those dirty dogs. This is why I do not set random trades just waiting right there, guys. Because if you did, I mean, you would have been screwed at this point. You got to wait for some sort of confirmation, guys. You got to be patient. Don't take every single trade. Man, imagine if you had a buy stop right here, you'd have been exactly C6. So that would have been a disaster entry. And this is exactly why you do not want to put a buy stop at liquidity. because this is what will happen. Price can push up to the next area of liquidity, and then it can just come right back down. You don't want to get caught with your pants down, as like people say, right? Because you can get screwed if that happens. Because literally, I mean, if you took a buy there, this is a huge drop. How much did this drop from? This thing dropped, geez, dropped like 800, more than 800 pips, actually almost 1,000 pips. Yeah, about 900 pips. So I wouldn't be surprised if price, C6 said never get caught, just don't wear pants. So looking at this right here, I wouldn't be surprised if price gets to 730 right here, and then this news is positive, and then it comes all the way back up, right? It's nothing new, guys. This is all like manipulation around news. So this is why I usually don't trade around news. I don't trade around sessions, and I wait for a confirmation of a bias. We don't have a confirmation yet. Price is just bouncing around. All right, so we got another low that's been established, well, not really established, but it's pending right now. Right here. I'll leave this liquidity up here in case it comes back for retest. After the second test, though, I'll delete it. All right. So not really much here going on. You can see our price is now pushing back up. All right, so there goes, price pushes back up, maybe for retest or a second test, I guess. I'll see where it goes from here. If it gives it a second test, we'll see if it actually plays out. I'm hoping it fails, and then maybe I can catch a speculative sell to the downside. Henry's asking, is this setting up as a V3? No, it's not, because there's no pending buy here, Henry. If you were using that requirement, then yeah, this would technically be a V3, but there's no pending buy over here, so there would be no V3 at this point. Yeah, look at these huge wicks. These wicks are so big. It came up again, and it probably just it did what I forgot who mentioned earlier. The buy stops again. This is exactly why you do not want to have any buy stops here, because if you have any buy stops here, you're going to get stopped out so heavily both times. You want to wait for the confirmation. You want to wait for, yeah, Maddie said, market makers finessing people right now. Exactly. So don't, if you guys ever enter a trade, you got to make sure that you have a confirmation. Don't just enter a trade for no reason. Yeah, exactly. Ruin said, great lesson for people to learn. Exactly. I mean, sometimes people have to take losses to actually understand this stuff, right? I know it's weird, but some people are like that. I mean, including myself. I had to lose a lot of trades in my first couple of years trading before I really understood how this stuff worked. It's all psychology. All right. Yeah, everyone said it'll smooth out after Sean gets off. And it happens all the time, right? It's I mean, it's pretty annoying, but it always does that. All right, guys, it's 7:20 right now. We got news coming up at 7:30 in about 10 minutes. Looking over here at the news, it's going to be the crude oil inventories. I know this is going to be negative because we're not buying oil from Russia. I mean, a lot of the countries aren't buying oil from Russia anymore, which was one of a big provider. So with them not buying oil from Russia, this is going to be negative. And with it being negative, I'm expecting the news to be positive, because less crude oil inventories is positive news. It just increases the cost of oil, right? So I do expect it to be bullish. So if you guys are trading oil, you're probably gonna see a bullish push. I don't trade oil myself. I don't know if you guys ever traded oil. Well, the old members here in K2, if you guys remember, is Dijon in here? I don't think he's in here. Yeah, Dijon's not in here. But if you guys traded oil with us, like I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, when it, like, the price of oil went down to like zero, it was pretty crazy how, like, you could sell and it would literally drop like hundreds of pips within like seconds, and then you would what happened was like a lot of people were trying to buy the dip and that thing never came back up. It literally went down to like zero. No way. So, Ruin said, I have a funny story about oil over leverage. I had 22 centers waiting for this Biden push, drained my personal by 80K. That's nuts. Yeah, it's crazy. And C6 said, unless you're Shell and you make a accidental million barrel purchase. Yeah, that market was crazy. If you guys are new to trading, you guys probably did not experience that price in oil drop where it went down to zero. But if you guys were trading with K2 with us here at K2 like 3 or 4 years back, it was like a frenzy. It was like everyone's going crazy trading oil. I didn't jump into it, but I saw well, actually I did jump into it. I made some profit, but I didn't really play with it too much because oil was just going crazy. Yeah, Fahad said, wasn't that the beginning of COVID? There was like a couple times where it happened. It was actually before COVID, Fahad. It was like the year before that when Trump was still president. There was like they couldn't figure out like the price of oil. There's like something going on in the world, and then like it just kept selling because there was some like a huge shortage. With COVID, it was actually oil was actually going it was going down as well because people weren't traveling, but it wasn't like the crazy drop when the demand kind of fluctuated. All right, guys, 723 right now. I'm gonna go ahead and just delete this, guys, because this area of liquidity is no longer useful. It's already failed to break it twice. Here's the new range. So price is still ranging within this area, as you guys can see, but it's just a new range. I'm gonna go ahead and just move this stuff over to stuff isn't very useful. So guys, maybe I could set up a poll here for what time you guys want to have the mentoring session. Actually, I think it'd be fine at 2. So let's just do our mentoring session here at 2. We'll just keep that as it is because I think it works for everybody. If anybody has any objection to having our mentoring session at the normal time at 2, just pop into the chat and let me know if you want it at a different time. I think it's fine with everybody though, because we usually have a pretty good turnout around 2 o'clock. Yeah, I've seen that before too, Rick. Maddie said market's trash. Nick is agreeing with Maddie. Yeah, no, definitely. Charles said market is ass. Yeah, that too. Yeah, no, I mean, the market's not really doing much, guys. So the market's pretty much doing what it was doing yesterday. There's no clear direction. There's no nothing right now, really. Price is kind of just going back and forth. It's hard to see here on the markups, but if you go to the clean chart here, you can see that there's not really much of anything going on over here. Price would, this blue line right here, so I'll zoom out a little bit. This blue line right here is going to be opening price. So this is opening price and this is news. When market opened right here, price came down, came up, a lot of fake outs. So if you get caught in these fake outs, you probably would have lost money. Again, right here, news happened. It was a push to the upside. And now it is just ranging. But here's the crazy thing. If you look at this blue line right here that I drew, this is opening price. Look where price currently is. It's like price never moved for the day. Price just manipulated to the downside right here, came back up, came back down, came back up, and now it's back exactly where it was when market opened about an hour ago. So it's been an hour after market open and price is literally back to where it was. It's like it didn't go anywhere. This area right here. This is where the market opened and this is where the market is now. So an hour later, no direction has been set. Price is still where it was from this morning. All right, news is coming up in about 5 minutes, guys. Let's see. Charles said V3 sell. So there's a V3 sell right here. It's not one that I would personally take because we have news coming up right now in about a few minutes. But yes, this would be a V3 and it'd also be, actually, no, I was thinking of V1, but it's not. Yeah, huge spike right there to the downside. Yeah, Barack said this is the kind of market where beginners lose everything. Yeah, no, and I agree with you too, Barack. This is usually so if you're a beginner trader, this would probably make you want to quit trading because there's no direction set and it's just it's really difficult to catch moves here. And it kind of sucks because like you guys are here on this live session, so you guys can hear my analysis and you guys can actually understand why it's not a good time to trade. A lot of beginners don't have a group to trade with, or they don't have someone to really explain and analyze the market for them. So they just trade even though the market's moving all weird like this, and they end up blowing their accounts, right? So, yeah, no, exactly. Brock said, K2 is saving my account so far. Exactly. It's better to just not trade during conditions like this. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand that there's good times to trade and there's bad times to trade. It's bad when market's indecisive, like how it is today. Just looking at the clean chart over here, as I just mentioned earlier, there's no direction, right? If price was pushing up like this during the entire session, then yeah, great. You can enter some buys. You don't want to enter trades when price is going sideways like this and there's no clear direction. You want to enter when price is actually pushing in a direction, right? You can see lately for the past couple of days, past 2 days now, there's a lot of consolidation. There's not really much of a direction here. Price will go push up a little bit and then it'll go back into a heavy consolidation. It'll push up slightly, consolidation. It's not really like a consistent push to the upside or the downside. So you guys just gotta be smart about what you're doing, guys, when you guys are trading. The best solution to being a long-term trader is to just survive in the game. I see a lot of people gamble where you'll have a really good day and you think those days are going to be every single day. And I see it sucks because I see people sometimes will profit with us here at K2 and then they'll go do their own thing because they think that they know everything at that point. And then they blow their account and they're back at K2 like a month later, like, oh, I should have stayed here. It's not really that easy to understand if you're a beginner and you're not familiar with using different confluences. So like one thing that I always remind you guys is retail sentiment, right? A lot of people don't know how to use this. It's actually really simple. If you guys look how I use it, it's super simple. The fundamentals here, a lot of people think that this isn't useful, but it's actually pretty useful. Even though it's just a number, it doesn't necessarily tell you where price is going. It gives you a confluence to identify where to trade. Technicals here, everybody knows how to do technicals, but I feel like a lot of people don't know how to do it properly. It's really a coin toss when you're doing technicals. That's why this is my last confirmation. You could have like the strongest bullish confirmation, right? Like for example, right here, you could have everything super bullish and price could still come down. The good thing for us is we don't get caught in this because we have different confluences. We're not just trading technicals. We're using fundamentals. We're using retail sentiment. We're using news. We're using a lot of things to confirm the direction and where to trade. So yeah, hopefully this has been helpful to a lot of you guys. I mean, it's helpful to me. Like if I wasn't trading live with you guys every day, I'd probably be taking all these dumb trades myself because it doesn't matter how long you've been trading. You still make the same mistakes. I've been trading for like 11 years. I still FOMO. I still revenge trade. I still overtrade. But since I'm here on the live with you guys, I can't make those mistakes because if I make those mistakes, I'm going to get the same people complaining that are always complaining. Let's see. Like Rick's homie. No, I'm just kidding. Now Rick's gonna message me and say, do you want me to talk to my homie? All right, guys, so here we go with price. It's currently pushing below. As you can see, price is now getting tighter within this range. It's still ranging right here, but it hasn't broken outside. As price continues to move along, it's gonna have to break out, right? So we really just need, oh, actually the news just came out. So here's the news. I'm pretty sure it's positive, like I was anticipating. So let's see, crude oil inventories right here, refresh this. And it was positive. So no surprise here, guys. We already anticipated this to be positive both. I was expecting Joel's job openings to be positive. I was expecting crude oil inventories to be positive as well. The reason why I knew this was going to be positive is because COVID is reopening a lot of things. Like if you guys are here in the US, a lot of my gyms here are now 24 hours again. They used to be closed half day. Now they're back to 24 hours because everything's reopening. With that said, there's going to be more jobs becoming available. So this was, we already knew this was going to be positive. Over here, this is also an easy call. We knew this was going to be positive because US was banning oil from Russia. So with less oil inventories from other countries, this was like, it was a given that was going to be positive. So we knew this was both going to be positive. With that said, we'll see where price ends up, obviously pushing. Let me go and just mark up the news price right here. All right, so there's news price right there. And you can see our price is not currently ranging. Let's see what we got over here. So not really much of a change. Price is still just ranging within this area. I'm trying to see if price is going to react to news. This pink line right here is where news happened. Price is currently below news, and then it'll probably push right back up. So I'm going to go here and draw another pink line. Had news price right there. All right, so price is rejecting right off news price. So you can see right here, this wick right here is rejecting right off that pink line. That's news price. There we go. As price starts to come back down. All right, not really much going on with price right now. It's pretty much just flat. But there's liquidity sitting on both sides. So another reminder, guys. So what I'm looking for at this point, in order for us to have a directional change or some sort of bias confirmed, we need price to close up, so swing above here, come back for the retest, and push up higher. That's confirmation I'm looking for. If this fails right here on the second step and price ends up coming back down, then you might see me catch a speculative sell to the downside, right? But as you can see, price is really respecting the news price right here. You can see price came up, rejected off this pink line, came back down, rejected off the pink line, came back down, rejected off the pink line a third time. So with that said, this area is likely to be, respected at this point. Nick said, I feel like a push to the downside is more likely. Yeah, no, I agree. And that's my overall bias for the days is a bearish bias. I'm looking for it to come down. I'm looking for it to come down overall. So, and this is kind of whack. I was hoping to have at least one trade today. Yesterday, I didn't even take any trades. It was like, well, I'm still in profit from Monday. So again, it's not a big deal. I made profit on Monday, didn't really trade much yesterday, or I didn't trade anything yesterday. And then today, I was hoping to catch at least one trade. If I don't get anything today, it's fine. I'm still net positive profit for the week. So we still have 2 more days to trade. Just keep that in mind. Let me see if there's any other news for this week so far. Okay, so there's a lot of news tomorrow. Tomorrow might be a good trading day because we have CPI, which is inflation news, and we have core CPI as well at 5:30. So this is pre-market. We're going to have some big pushes during pre-market, and then from there, it'll probably set a direction for the day. On Friday, we have pre-lit UOM consumer sentiment. It might move a bit on Friday too. I think Thursday and Friday might be some pretty good days to trade. And this is just being smart about trading, right? Like I know we took trades on Monday. We did good. Tuesday, yesterday, we didn't do very much. Today, I was hoping to catch at least one trade, but I don't know if we're gonna get any. Okay, so here's the first step right here. So price did break above. There goes the first step. We're looking for the retest. Okay, so maybe I'll be able to catch a speculative entry right here. Here goes with the retest. That's perfect. It looks like all these V3s here for a buy would have been nice. Or I mean, this isn't an official V3, but it would have been nice if it was. The market's just been kind of, I mean, it just hasn't been good lately. Let's go back to the 5 over here. So that 5 minute never even closed, huh, Maddie? Your 5 that you're looking for over here. Yeah, it never came up. Back to the clean chart. All right, so this looks like another botched attempt for it to retest. Yeah, so it's probably gonna come back down. Actually, so when I take that speculative trade that I was talking about, guys, I take it off the third. So the second step has to be confirmed. The second step wasn't confirmed on here, so I don't take the speculative trade on here. I'm going to leave this liquidity up in case price decides to push back up. If it pushes back up, it'll go for a second attempt, and then maybe could hop into it from there. But as you can see right here, the attempt failed, and now price is pushing back below. So it's literally back to where it was a few minutes ago. Not really much going on. It's 6:37 right now, so we got about 23 minutes till 8. Yeah, so I'm with you on that. Yeah, price isn't really doing much. It's okay. Here we go at the second attempt. Peter said, it feels like it's a holiday the way the market is moving. Yeah, no, I agree 100%. It's not really doing much, right? Which is weird because you'd expect it to do something, but it's not. All right, so here's the push to the upside. Here goes the second attempt. So here goes the first step right here. We need this to close above. Let me check the news to see if there's anything going on. I don't know if anyone's talking right now. Let's see, Biden just put an executive order on cryptocurrencies. Here's what he has in it. So he's going to be signing it in today. All right, man. So I feel so tough luck for a lot of you crypto fanatics over there. It's not necessarily going to be as decentralized as you guys want it to be. It was going to happen regardless. Eventually, it was going to happen, right? The government was going to dip their hands into crypto. Okay, so price over here, I mean, it sort of broke above right here. Let's see if it retests and continues pushing up higher. All right, we're looking for that possible retest. Rick said, well, the CIA did create a cryptocurrency, which I wouldn't be surprised if they did, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, still today, I still don't really, I mean, I do understand crypto, but not enough for me to actually want to get into it. All right, so looking at this right here, guys, we have the retest where we have two different scenarios here. Price is either going to confirm the push to the upside or it's going to come right back down. So check this out. We'll see what happens here. In order for it to confirm, price needs to close above this area right here. So price needs to close above this line right here. If it closes above this line, then it's probably going to continue pushing up higher. If it doesn't close above it, then it's probably going to push right. It's going to keep consolidating until it either pushes above it and closes or it pushes below. Yeah, it's got about 4 minutes left on this one, Maddie. I can see it. All right, so here we go. As price pushes sideways, we're looking for two different things. We're looking for price to either close above there or close below here. These are your two scenarios. So just look at price and see where it goes. If it closes below here, it's probably going to drop further. If it closes above there, it's probably going to push up higher. So we'll see what happens in the next couple minutes or so. And this market is it's not doing anything. Damn, David said he's a holder of XRP since 2019, got tired of being a bag holder. That's why I moved to learn and trade forex. And hopefully you got some money out of that XRP, David, before it went to before they took it off the market. That lawsuit's gonna be going on for a while, so I don't think it's gonna go up anytime soon, or it's not gonna get put back on the exchange anytime soon. I remember there was a lot of people that were like hardcore about XRP, and then once they got hit with the lawsuit, and then they took it off the market, it just went, the price just disappeared. It's I thought XRP was going to be good too, because XRP is supposed to be used for credit card transactions. It had a utility. It was just run by a shady CEO, fortunately. All right, so look at current price right here, guys. If this closes below here, I'm expecting it to possibly drop a bit. So yeah, Maddie said there's a V3 right here running on. I think it's too tight though, right? It looks kind of small. Yeah, it's too tight. It's like 200 pips. But it's a good confluence. Yeah, it is a good confluence though. All right, so look at price, guys. It's still ranging within this area. It hasn't closed below. It hasn't closed above. So we're still watching for it right here. Don't get caught in these fake outs, right? You want to wait for the confirmation. There's no confirmation for either direction. Yeah, Maddie said there's no volume in the market right now. Jonathan said loving the market today. So man, this. And said someone call Putin. You gotta let Steven know. Remember, Steven's gonna call Ukraine. You can just tell him to end the war right now. Where's Steven at? Steven's not even here. He's probably working right now. Steven said he called Putin a couple times and he didn't answer, fortunately. Rick said Steven is in a bunker in Kyiv. All right, guys. So looking at current price right here, again, it did not close above this line and it didn't close below this line. So no direction at all. Damn, it's crazy. It's literally just bouncing around this area. It hasn't done much. If it fails to, so once it breaks above or below here, I'm going to clean this up and I'm going to take off all these high lows because they're pretty much useless at this point. Until there's like a direction that pushes, through here. David say crazy Monday, trap Tuesday, local Wednesday, Thursday. Stay tuned. All right, so here we go. Price is below here. It's got about 30 seconds. I don't know if it'll close. If it does, then we'll see. So again, no close right there. Huge wick, and it's back to where it was originally. And we do have this 5-minute V3 that Matthew and Maddie are looking at. I think it might be too tight, but it's a little tight. I mean, it could be worse. It's 330 pips, or maybe even less than that. Yeah, so there's actually a V1 or a V3 right there on the 5. I still want to confirm it here on the 1 though, to see if it pushes below. I don't know. We'll see if it pushes below from here. Let's see what happens here. So I think price is probably going to drop at this point. I mean, I don't know how far it'll drop, but I think it's going to drop a bit. But yeah, and we'll see where this goes. I don't know if this will be another fake out or what, but I mean, there's still no direction set. Price did close below there, and we'll see if it continues to drop lower. But there's really no confirmation as to where it's going to go and stuff. All right, let's see. Let's see where it goes. Man, this market is not really doing much. It's kind of just, it's back to where it was. See if it pushes below. Peter said, "Where's Powell when you need him?" Yeah, there isn't much going on in the market, guys. It's just, I was expecting it to drop, but it just came back to where it was. I mean, it's probably going to drop eventually. It's another fake out, and then it'll come right back down. But you can see where price is rejecting from. It's rejecting from opening price, and it's rejecting from, so you guys can see the blue line here and the pink line, right? This blue line is opening price. The pink line is news price. So, I mean, it's still a bit of a risky area to trade because, I mean, the main fact is that it's rejecting off these key points that we usually try to avoid. These lines here act as like sessions. So usually I don't like to trade around sessions. And it has the same effect. It's just rejected right off it. So let me just clean this up a little bit. I'm not going to keep this up here because we're not looking for it to push up anymore. We're definitely looking for it to push down. It's just, it might take some time before it actually drops. So let me clean this up right here. And I'll draw another low right here. This is the new low. And yeah, so let me just go to a clean chart actually. Okay, so the clean chart right here, you can see where price is rejecting from, right? It's rejecting from this blue line and this pink line. This blue line is opening price. This pink line is news price. It acts just like sessions. So not too much going on. I wanted to catch a speculative sell because I was like waiting for it to close below here. But now that I look at it closer, I just realized that it didn't even close below the opening price. So maybe I'll wait for it to push back below. If it pushes back below here, then I'll probably enter for a sell down at that point. But it hasn't closed below this opening price yet, this blue line. Here, let's see. Question from Adam. Adam is asking, is the V3? No, so the V3 is used with the high low. Adam, we don't use the SR for that. The SR is like a totally different indicator. And Sunset took along because YOLO. Yeah, so Adam, in order for you to use the V3, you're identifying the high lows. High lows are identified using the high low indicator. So here's the V3 requirements. For the V3 requirements, you're looking for, so it says identify K2 high low using K2 high low indicator. That K2 SR is totally different from the high low. So you got to make sure that you use the proper indicator for it. The SR is for the actual SR strategy. So if you're applying something like a K2 SR, I don't know, K2 SR, yeah, K2 SR strategy. So for this one right here, you'll use the SR. But for this one, you're using the high low. They're like two totally different strategies. Adam, if you want to ask these questions during the mentoring session later, or if you have any specific questions, I can show you. So today at 2 o'clock, we will have our K2 group mentoring session. That session is basically, a big Q&A. You can ask me whatever questions you need help with. I can go over any strategies in detail. If you have any trades that you guys took and you lost and you want me to analyze it and look over as to like what could have been done differently, if there was any mistakes making, if there were any skips that were if you guys skipped any steps, then I can go over that so that you guys understand. My main goal here is to make sure that you guys understand all the strategies, the analysis, the breakdown of everything that goes on with K2. And the only way that I can help you with that is if you guys ask, those questions. Because the thing is, I have all the knowledge, but I can't help you guys out unless people ask questions. So, yeah, no problem, Adam. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so 2 o'clock Pacific time. It's about 8 o'clock right now. So I'm gonna get off the live session soon. Unfortunately, we didn't have any trades, guys. I couldn't take even any speculative trades because there was no confirmation here. It's 8 o'clock right now. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So in about 6 hours, we'll be back live for the group mentoring session. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, it's going to be your best place to ask questions. You can, if there's any trades that you are confused with, write down the timestamp. I'll pull it up on the chart. We'll analyze it from start to finish. We'll go over pretty much all of the confluences, confirmations, stuff like that. And then soon enough, I'm going to start creating new videos where it'll be a breakdown, and there'll be individual videos for each, confluence that we look at. Let's see what Anton said. Anton said, Ruin said, another fake out WTF. Yeah. So guys, you guys can see this line here that we drew. Price never ended up closing above there. And then again, down here, price had issues crossing below this blue line and this pink line, right? Opening price. So with that said, I don't think there's going to be much for us to enter at this point, guys. Unfortunately, I know today sucks. Today was a bad day, just like yesterday. But it's not necessarily a bad day unless you guys took losses, right? Hopefully you guys didn't take any losses today. I was being very careful. I didn't want to lure you guys into taking anything too risky, because I knew the risk with today's market. And this is what separates you guys from being amateur traders and beginner traders, right? And becoming actual good traders, is understanding when the market is not a good time to trade. So going back to the clean chart over here, let me just show you the breakdown of like where price moved. So let me zoom out from this point. Okay, so looking at this right here, this blue line and this red line is from market open till 7. This is only 30 minutes. There's no direction set. Price literally bounced up, bounced down. It's a huge range. Again, right here from 7 to 7:30, nothing happened right here. Price literally just went back and forth. So depending on which area you were trading, you could have gotten burned, or you could have made profit off that. Most of the time, you're probably gonna get burnt because price is spiking back and forth so heavily. Right now from 7, so if we just take this off 7:30 and you just look from 7 to 8, it's been an hour and price hasn't really done much. So this is where price was about an hour ago. And this is where price is now. So if I just draw a line right here from an hour till now, nothing's really happened, right? You get a bit of a push to the upside right here. So from open till now, it moved up like maybe 300 pips. And then now it's back to where it was. Not open, but an hour ago, basically at 7 o'clock. And then from here, price is only pushed down like about the same amount, 300 pips to this side, 300 pips to this side, not much of a difference. You can see price right here failing to break and close below it. I mean, not much of a surprise there either, right? So yeah, other than that, guys, it's getting close to 8, so I don't think we're gonna have much to cover. See if there's any other things here. Anton said probably gonna pump jokes. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna pump. I don't know, we'll see. But you can see where price is rejecting from, right? Just keep an eye on these 2 lines right here. I didn't draw these lines for no reason. These lines here are critical price points. You can see price is failing to get below them. So this blue line opening price, pink line news price bounces every time it comes near it. So if you guys want to be speculative, I mean, you could probably take buys when our price bounces off here. I don't recommend you guys do it, but if you guys would, you can see the pattern that just keeps playing around this area. Other than that, I think that's about it. Yeah, exactly, Nick. Nick said US30 is all green, but it really wants to go down because of news. And that's why, price isn't really having much of a direction. So I think that's it for now, guys. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to message me on Telegram or email me. Otherwise, I'll be back in about 6 hours. Looking at the 10-minute, let's see. Adam said 10-minute chart looks crazy. Yeah, so if you look at the 10-minute chart right here, it hasn't really done much, right? You just see huge wicks on like both ends. So market, let me show you where market opened. Market opened right here at 6:30. And you can see that not really much has happened. You see a lot of wicks on the bottom. You see a lot of wicks on the top, but not really any direction. It's attempting to push to the upside, but it's not really had much of a push. So yeah, I would recommend, if you guys don't need to trade today, I would just sit out the market, wait until tomorrow or Friday. I think tomorrow and Friday will be smoother days. That's usually how the weeks work, right? You'll have like a couple of shitty days and you'll have a couple of really good days. Monday was a really good day. Tuesday, Wednesday, where these days there's no direction. I think Thursday, Friday, market will pick up a bit because it can't stay like this forever. It's gonna choose a direction and it's gonna keep pushing that way. So other than that, guys, I will see you guys in about 6 hours for the group mentoring session. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. My job here is to help you guys out. Helping you guys out helps me out because with me teaching you guys, it just reinforces my knowledge. I just get better at trading when I teach you guys. So other than that, I will see you guys in about 6 hours at 2 p.m. Pacific time. I'm gonna try to set up in the new office area. You guys will probably see a different background, but we'll see where it goes from there. So other than that, guys, have a great rest of your morning, and I will see you guys in